YTPC, it's Padre. Back in 2019 and 2020, Mark VV and I did a series on the Boswell English Sampler, exclusively for BRTV. I'm happy to now have that series available on YouTube, and I hope you enjoy it.
Padre is unprepared.
As always.
Just gonna sit here like an ass. Can I say ass on YouTube?
I think we may have to beep it out. I'll check with the censors. All right. Yeah, that one was running out.
Oh, a brand new one.
You know. Man's got to do what a man's got to do.
It's the non-child-proofed kind.
It sure is. All right. Are we ready?
I think we're ready.
Let's do this.
You want to clap?
Oh, yeah. I do need to sync it. Thank you. I'm going to let you do that from now on. It's going to be your job. You're going to be the clapper. You ever had to clap?
Coming to you via the virtual airwaves of BRTV from the Big Easy in Louisiana, bringing you his philosophy and insight on life and all things pipe and premium tobacco related. Please welcome your host, Padre Piperer.
BRTV. Padre coming to you with Mark VV. I'm sorry, I didn't let you say your name. Padre coming to you with
Mark VV.
video number...
This is the low energy edition. 4.
Number 4. It is that we were both complaining that we're tired. And truth be told, we normally do this on a Friday evening after work, which we couldn't, and it was my fault. We couldn't record on a Friday evening this week because I had a late afternoon marriage vows renewal, which...
Congratulations.
It literally wasn't mine. It literally takes... it's a 20-minute ceremony, right? And it was 51 years. Not 50, 51 years.
Big 5-1.
So I was done by 4. And you and I would have met at like 5:30. But they wanted to go to dinner afterwards. Mm-hmm. And I can't turn down a dinner. Can I?
Free food.
Free food.
Well,
at a very good restaurant. So that's why we didn't meet up on Friday evening. And so we're meeting up on Sunday evening. And it is kind of low energy because I've worked all day. I mean, I work all day on Fridays too. Sundays are different though. And I watched The Saints. Did you watch The Saints?
I did.
Okay. And you were kind of semi out of town. You were like...
Yeah, it was a little birthday
couple
party.
Towns over from...
It was like Laplace, which is about a half an hour outside of the...
And then you've also been a little bit stressed because apparently your wife thought she was having her baby.
We thought we were having some labor pains, which turned out to be probably not. We're not 100% sure still, but it's not active labor. And
so the thing about that is this video is going to... So it's being recorded before Christmas, but it's not going to air until the Saturday after Christmas because we're a week lag on this with BRTV. So you'll have a kid.
Yeah, I have a child now.
You have a child. You have a daughter named... Lucy, by the time you folks are seeing this video. So congratulations.
Thank you very much. Very much.
It's wonderful.
Super excited.
All right.
Haven't got any sleep yet.
So we have, we're in video 4, the low energy edition of Smoking Through the Sampler. We have, we've smoked Countryside, we have smoked Northwoods, and we have smoked Boswell's Mild English. So we've done 3 of the 7 Boswell blends in their English sampler. I have a little follow-up I wanted to include on the Mild English, and that is, I think we were both struggling. Well, maybe not you because you're not a big Latakia guy. I was struggling a little bit with that blend because it's not a flavor powerhouse. And when I think English and Latakia, I think flavor. And that was really a mild blend, which is fine. The problem I have with that we didn't get to talk about when we recorded it is something I didn't know about until a day or two later. For instance, that was Friday night. Sunday morning, I was vesting in here. My vestments are over in this direction.
That's the act of vesting is just you're not
Yeah, you put on your alb and your stole. And
Non-money vesting. It's a, you know.
No, not investing.
Oh,
I was
investing.
vesting in liturgical garb, which smelled like Boswell's Mild English. In fact, this whole area was still sort of smelling like the room note, which is weird because that was the lightest of the three that we had smoked thus far. Countryside evaporated within hours. Northwoods, which is, kind of on the heavier side, it was gone after we smoked it. It didn't hang around. And so outside of this office is another office where the secretary works. And on Sundays, the counters come together to count the offering. And one of the counters says to me, "Somebody's been smoking a pipe." And he knows we both smoke pipes because he's in men's club with us. And so anyway, he was just giving me a hard time about that because the whole place smelled of stale smoke.
Yeah, I never really thought about it. As I was just going through my mind just now, is that some tobaccos, like maybe not Latakia, maybe Burley or Virginia, but some of them actually have the smoke has a density to it.
Yeah.
Like cigars. Like if you smoke a cigar in a room,
yeah.
it stays around forever.
It does. It does.
So
I'm not huge into cigars. I have a very big humidor filled with tons of cigars because I used to be.
As we all do.
Yeah. Well, no, I do. I mean, because in the 90s, I had kind of switched. The 80s, I was a pipe guy. 90s, I was a cigar guy. But anyway, so if I smoke a cigar or two a year, I smoke a ton.
Yeah.
But what I remember about most of the cigars that I smoked anyway, and I was big into a Torre Fuente. I like Baccarat, which is a sweet cigar. But anyway, there was a density to it. However, if you smoked inside, it wasn't going to ruin your furniture the way cigarettes would. So it's still a different quality of smoke.
Yeah.
You smoke one cigarette in a car, you'll never get that funk out of that car.
Yep.
You smoke a cigar in a car,
It goes
you
away.
ride around for a day or so with the windows rolled down, it'll wash out. It just goes away.
Must be some kind of chemical in the cigarettes that does that.
Cigarettes are just another whole different beast. Don't get me on an FDA rant here.
So I wonder just if it has something to do with the fact that blend was mostly Burley. I don't know.
Maybe. You're blaming Burley's?
No?
Blame it on Burley.
So what is this blend?
So
made of?
today what we're going to do is, since we did the mild English last week, we're going to do Magnum blend this week.
Pew, 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 pew.
Okay, now Magnum, I had to look up the definition because I think of Magnum PI, right? But I also think of Magnum, when I hear Magnum, I think of something larger and bolder and courageous. And I'm going to say it because this is an adult-only crowd. I also think of Magnum, what comes to mind, sadly, is in the drugstores, in the condom section, there's a brand of Trojan, sub-brand called Magnum.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I know you didn't. That's why I was trying to make the joke about this in video number 1, that you would know nothing of Magnum. Just a little humor. But so that's what comes to mind, right? So I'm ingrained with this. You got to remember, I worked in college healthcare for a quarter of a century. I know condoms. Right, so
do you?
Yeah, no, I mean not from personal. The kids, right? They're all about the condoms. They give condoms away at university. But anyway, so Magnum, every young man wants to have Magnum stashed in whether he needs them or not, right? Because it's Magnum, it's the extra large. At any rate, now that we've sufficiently grossed out everyone watching this video, Magnum blend has nothing to do with... So I looked up literally 2 minutes before we started recording the definition on dictionary.com. Magnum, first definition is a large wine bottle. A larger than standard wine bottle. And the second, of course, is the gun.
Right.
So I say all that to say this. Magnum blend, I rather like the bag note, if we can use that term without you having some... issues.
A conniption fit?
Go ahead, smell it. Tell me your thoughts on the bag note.
Ooh, I rather like that.
You do?
I do.
What is it you like about it? I mean, you're clearly going to pick up some Latakia.
It's got the Latakia, but it's got a really, really nice sweetness to it.
Yes. And what do you attribute that to? Did you do any research on this?
I did not. 'Cause
Okay,
I
so
didn't know
go
why I
ahead.
didn't know.
That's all right. That's all right. Raw nose, because I've got the readout right in front of me. What are you picking up in that? And by the way, I agree with you. There's a really nice, not unlike last week's mild English with that sort of quintessential pipe smoke bag note about it.
I mean, if I was just to be a guessing man, I would say, just from looking at it, I would think there
yeah.
was maybe some like toasted Virginia in there.
You see the lighter colors.
Yeah.
In fact, show that up because that's a lot lighter than what you typically see for an English blend. It's a lot of brown, a lot of golden brown.
Maybe a little better through the bag, but
Yeah. All right, so you're picking up on Virginias. There are Virginias in there. There's a Latakia or Latakia, depending upon whether you live, here or there. Anything else you're picking up?
I would assume some Orientals, but
Not listed.
not listed.
Not listed. The third ingredient, there's only 3 listed. The third is Black Cavendish, which may also be accounting for some of that sweetness that you're picking
Yeah, okay.
up.
So Virginia's Burley and Virginia's
Burley. Virginia.
Cavendish and Latakia.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. But
So,
it does
yeah.
have a really pleasant bag note about it.
It kind of reminds me a little bit of maybe not in quite the same quantity of Latakia, but a little bit like Lane BC HGL.
HDL.
A little bit.
I was going to say that. It reminds me, the bag note reminds me of a hybrid, and I was going to be so bold as to pat myself on the back and say it reminded me a little bit of Rector's blend.
Ooh, yes.
So you keep sniffing that.
Can I load my pipe
You may. Why don't you go ahead and load your pipe?
for the spirit of expedience?
Now, I have a little jar of Rector's blend because I do enjoy it. Now, to me, this has a little smoother smell to it. That's not the right word. I don't know what it is, but it's not. It's in that same ballpark. For those of you who don't know, Rector's blend I was attempting to
Not quite as sweet, but
make a match for Frog Morton, the original Frog on the Log, and was unsuccessful in doing that. But in doing so, I started getting onto something I was enjoying, so I just continued to tweak it until I got to Rector's blend. If you want to know what's in Rector's blend, because it's an enjoyable hybrid smoke, you can go over to Briar Report. I think it's briarreport.org. I think it's the magazine side. And Phil put the recipe up because I did a video with the recipe and just totally blew it. And he knows what it is. And so he put it up for me in simple steps. It's a multi-step process. Takes a couple of weeks to blend it properly. But it's a nice blend. And that's what this is sort of reminding me of in the bag. So you're loading up. I'm going to load up now. I found a stick. Go fetch. Did you see my live video yesterday, which is now a week ago, for when you're watching this? I did a live at home, and Jazzy popped up in it.
I did not see that.
I was there, and I'm in the dining room, which she never goes into, and she just is kind of like, I guess, in another room hearing me talking to myself. She's like, "Well, I'll go investigate," and she's like, "What the heck are you doing?" And so then she started getting into some wrapped, unwrapped, and semi-wrapped presents, and so I kind of had.
Now they're all unwrapped.
I kind of had to sign up. Well, yeah, because she found one that was like Czech mix, and let's just say that won't be given out. And actually, that was to me. So, but anyway, all right. So you haven't lit your bowl yet,
Would you
but
like me
you
to
packed your bowl, and it's a ribbon cut. No problem lighting it. Did you do a test draw?
I did. I didn't get much on the test draw.
What are you? Is that a Peterson? What are you smoking?
The
There?
same one I was smoking last time, the Peterson Strand. It's one of the Sherlock Holmes.
It's a good looking.
It's a fine looking smoking apparatus.
Yes. Have you tried your Christmas gift yet?
I have not. I mean, yes, I have, of course.
Wow. So you just take the brog and throw it on the shelf and never touch it
It's in
again?
a pile on the floor. It's on the kitchen table. So
I don't want people to
as
think
soon as
he's a real Scrooge. He did bring me a Christmas gift. Do you want to give it to me on air?
I can, but it's over there.
It's over there. I mean, you didn't wrap it or anything.
I mean, actually, it's over here, but I'm gonna teleport it over there.
There you go.
Okay, there we Ah, yes, sir.
No, but you're going to be seeing this after Christmas. But, well, you know, after Christmas Day. In true Christianity, Christmas is 12 days, right? All the way up to the Epiphany.
all the way up until the
We'll
Epiphany.
smoke the Epiphany on the Epiphany.
This is for you.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, you're very
That's so
welcome.
perfect because you know how much I love Reese's. And this is
And it's the ultimate
the
Reese's.
lovers. That's odd. The lovers. Reese's lovers.
Well, yeah, Reese's.
My thumb was in the way. Reese's lovers collection. Best gift ever
Best
is what
gift
it
ever.
says on here. So it's got the regular peanut butter cups. It's got the white chocolate peanut butter cups. It's got the dark chocolate peanut. I love dark chocolate. And it's got the ones with the Reese's Pieces, which is my least favorite of that whole batch.
Oh, okay.
I don't like the.
You can eat those
I don't
first.
dislike them. Right. That's right. You get those out of the way. So, all right. You want to go ahead and light up there? I'm smoking my Big Ben, a straight billiard. This pipe, you know, it's funny when you. I don't know how you do this or how you do this. When I get a new pipe, I have a fantasy in my mind about, oh, that pipe is going to be good for Virginias or aromatics or Englishes.
Yeah.
And 9 times out of 10, I'm doing that just to try to get a room note. 9 times out of 10, I'm so far off on that. And I'll smoke it and break it in and force it. And then I realize it's just not doing it. And then I'll switch it to something else and I'll find out that really is not a Virginia pipe. It's an English pipe or vice versa, whatever. This one, I tried to do aromatics in and I ended up dedicating it to Englishes. For a while, I would only smoke Black House in this. So I only used it in the winter because I only smoke Black House in the winter. Then I started making it my skiff mixture pipe. But since I'm a little low on skiff mixture, that hadn't happened in a while. So we're going to do Magnum blend in this Big Ben 406 tonight. All right, I'm getting a room note. And, you know, at the risk of sounding repetitive, it smells like every Boswell blend we've smoked so far. The room notes don't seem to differ, other than that mild English wouldn't go away. It smells like walking into Mayan. So let me char up here.
I have a sneaky suspicion this one will probably stay for a little while as well.
You have any initial impressions on your char note?
The Latakia is very reserved. I get a lot of Virginia. Mm-hmm. Not a whole lot of sweetness, which I was kind of expecting sweetness. I'm surprised I don't taste the sweetness. So I can confirm that it's not topped with anything, and like a Lane 1Q or a Lane HGL. It's definitely uncased to that regard. I get a lot of Virginia, obviously. Yeah, the Latakia is very.
I'm not picking up on initial any. Maybe further down the bowl it'll come into play.
Well, there's
I'm getting a lot of Virginia.
There's a
and it's
smokiness.
making me think that this is a Virginia blend that has been dressed up a little bit for some sweetness with Black Cavendish, and maybe to give a little body for the Virginia to sit on top of. The Latakia was thrown in there as a condiment.
It's very there's a smokiness to it, but it's not like a strong, like a campfire Latakia smokiness.
Right.
It's just like it's like a smoke that's been drizzled over the top of the tobacco.
Now, true to form, this is number 4, and I can say this for every single one we have tried so far. There is a smoothness, and that smoothness did not go away in the previous 3. You could keep smoking down and never went away. I even pushed it at times, never went away. There's a cool burn, and I know it's still early in this bowl, but this is a Virginia. I'm calling this Virginia forward.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's I'm just bending over to we're recording, but microphone. Never mind. And Virginias have, the propensity, or at least the capability, of heating up on you.
They do, and you're right. It's not bitey. It's not.
In retrohale, it's pleasant.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes a retrohale.
Yeah.
Sometimes on the retrohale, I don't know if you've had this experience. You may like what you get flavor and smell and olfactory and taste wise, but if the blend is a little too potent, you kind of have to sacrifice. Oh, maybe that stung a little.
Yeah.
And there's no sting here.
Kind of makes you wiggle your nose a little bit, but yeah.
So we've either blown out our nasal cavities and taste buds, or this just doesn't do that. So, you know what I didn't bring over? And I might need it with this pipe. I'm going to go grab a couple of pipe cleaners.
I have some.
With you?
Yeah.
Oh, well, then I won't leave my seat to go grab pipe cleaners. What I'll do is you find them, just throw one out for me. I got a feeling I might need one.
These are the Brickham brand. I heavily endorse them.
You paid to say that?
Yes.
Are you?
No.
That's a guy with 198 subscribers getting an endorsement. By the way,
know some people.
folks, he's got a YouTube channel. So go check him out and then aggravate the crud out of him to make him make some videos on his own. I mean, I have to... Do I have to do everything for you?
I will make a promise to you and to my legion of fans. New content will be coming after the baby is born.
All right. We're going to hold you to that. Boswell's Magnum blend from tobaccoreviews.com. Superbly made blend that Dan had created with a good friend in mind who was searching for a light English. This is a very light English. This
might be actually lighter than mild English.
Yeah. It's a flavorful Virginia.
Yeah, it is very much so. Yeah.
The result is a unique taste experience. So this is let's see. Virginia Burley's a Vapors. Virginia Perique's a Vapors. This is a Latva. Excellent blend to look forward to at the end of your day. Another masterful blend from Dan Boswell. And it really, I mean, look, I've never been disappointed by Boswell blends. So other than that dag-blasted mild English leaving that smell around here. And honestly, I don't know that I would go back to mild English and stock up on it. I have thoroughly enjoyed Countryside and look forward to smoking it again. Probably won't smoke it again until we finish these, though. And Northwoods was, that's a good flavorful blend. So this one is, I'm a weather guy and who lost his tamper. May I borrow yours?
Yeah.
So to me, when I think English and I think Latakia and Orientals, I think of cold weather. And
fair.
I sometimes I get a hankering in the summer, and I'm not, a Pharisee about it. I won't not smoke them, but I tend to do more aromatics and Virginias in the spring and summer, and more of the Latakia blends, however you want to pronounce it, in the fall and the winter when the weather's a little cooler. This one could be year-round, but honestly, if I were going to throw this into a rotation, I'd probably do it as a springtime blend, just because I'm liking the notes I'm getting from the Virginias, which I think are being... I think the Virginias actually, it's weird. I think they're being lifted up a little bit with a bottom note from Latakia that's very faint. It's just a little lifting. It's a little bass. And I think on top of that is just a little bit of Cavendish that's also keeping the Virginia from becoming too citrusy, acidic sort of. The parts of citrusy is not a bad part. Some Virginias can get a little acidic, and I don't like that. So I think that they're actually creating a nice little Virginia sandwich here. And again, I would classify this as a Virginia forward.
I would agree with you. 100%.
Have you noticed any changes as the bowl has progressed?
Not so far. But if I were to preemptively rate this, I would put it as my number 2.
Number 2. So right now you would have Countryside number 1.
Number 1.
You'd put this at number 2. You'd put Northwoods at number 3. You'd put Mild English at number 4.
No, I'd still put Mild English as number 3. Northwoods would be my bottom.
Northwood. Oh, that's right. You don't like the stronger flavors. Okay.
But that's only Mild English is number 3 by default, and Northwoods is number 4 by default. There may still, there may be still some adjusting there.
I would put. I'm going to count down backwards because I used to do radio, counting down the hits to number 1. So of the 4 we've done so far, my number 4 would be Mild English. My number 3 would be, I think it would be this blend, Magnum. And my top 2, number 2 would be Northwoods, number 1 would be Countryside. So we agree on our number 1. And again, that number 1, it's just, I like it. I didn't like it when I first got it. I had to play with it for a little bit. What I didn't like about it is I didn't understand it. And once I spent some time with it and realized that there were some things happening that I just needed to let happen and enjoy them, like that little side note we've talked about, then it became a pleasurable smoke because it's like, oh, there it is. And it's not always there. And sometimes it is. And
I think there's something to be said about hybrid Englishes and that little bit of sweetness, that little bit of aromatic quality. No, I don't want to say aromatic quality per se, but just a little bit of sweetness that gives you some kind of... It gives it a character that is not present in just your standard English Balkan blends.
well, I readily admit that I really like hybrid Englishes.
Yeah.
I like the crossovers. I've done a video of my top 5 crossovers. I could probably do another video of my top 5 crossovers, and they'd be different right now. Just because I've got so many I enjoy, and it depends on what I'm in the mood for. I like English blends. I like aromatics. I like Virginias. I'm not a guy who only smokes... and there's nothing wrong with if you have found something that works for you. There are some guys who will only do Virginia Periques. And that's great. Some guys who don't do Virginias at all because they get tongue bite. You want to know what irks me though? Is the tobacco snobs. The people who say, I don't smoke an aromatic. That's fine. Don't smoke an aromatic. But what ticks me off is when they go to tobaccoreviews.com,
I don't know.
they review an aromatic and they open it up with, I don't normally smoke aromatics, and this is why. And then they give it a 0. Like,
Then don't smoke.
don't rate this. You're a freaking idiot. I'm
Yep.
sorry, I shouldn't say that, should I? I think the word we use in this series is dumbass.
Dumbass.
You're a dumbass to do that.
Yeah, that does bother me as well.
It's just a pet peeve
agree.
of mine. If you don't like it, it's one thing like if this is in your typical repertoire and you want to really rate it and you're going to be hard on it because you're kind of a Virginia guy and that's a bad Virginia, go for it. But don't come on with this crap of I don't normally smoke these and this is why. The flip of that, which I'm a little bit more tolerant of, is I don't normally smoke this. But this is different, and this would be my go-to aromatic or my go-to English. That's fine, because you've found something you've explored, and you found something that you like.
And you're willing to admit that
Yeah.
it isn't in your wheelhouse.
It's not my genre, but I'm okay with it. So I don't have a real particular genre, but particularly this time of the year, though. Again, I'm weather and time kind of a guy. Holidays, I do like the English crossovers. HGL, love it. The Sutliff, I never remember if it's called Aromatic English or English Aromatic, love it. From Country Squire Tobacconist, the PS blend.
PS1.
Oh my goodness, that is a unique blend. I can literally taste like a dark, semi-sweet chocolate note in there.
What's that one that I like? Oh, Hunting Creek. Is the other
Huntington Creek, or is it Hunting?
one. Hunting Creek.
Hunting Creek? There's no ton in there?
No.
Huntington Creek, I think, might be an apartment complex that I might have lived in when I was an undergraduate.
And there's also one called Baker Street that's very, very good. But it's not that's an actual...
That's in English.
That's like a Balkan
Yeah.
style English.
Yeah,
and it's
yeah.
there's no sweetness in that one. Yeah, that one's real good too.
Now, we're not opposed to talking about this is all about smoking through the sampler from Boswell's, but we're not opposed to talking about Country Squire tobacconists. Do you know if John David watches this series? I know John David watches some of my videos because he recently had an order, and he writes a note on your invoice. Always, he does for me. I'm assuming he does that for everybody. I'm not special, because he's just a good guy like that. And he wrote, "Wishing you guys peace, grace, and blessings." So he knows. Yeah. So he,
I don't know. Does he know about? I'll have to ask him if he knows about Briar Report TV, because I don't know. He's not a huge online presence. He doesn't get on Facebook all that much, so he may not.
The reason I'm asking if you think he might be watching this is,
hey, John David. I don't know. I'll have to ask him.
Also has a new baby.
He does. Yeah.
The reason I'm asking is I wouldn't mind smoking through a Country Squire sampler. And I think it would be neat if you're watching, John David. I know you don't have a Middle Earth series sampler pack, but if
we can order one.
Here's what I'm thinking. If he might want to, in conjunction with BRTV, allow us to, it's not going to disallow us to buy all the stuff in the Middle Earth series, but to allow us to smoke through it, and consider for the folks on BRTV, to allow them to have a special page maybe to go to on his website where they could purchase the sampler and smoke along with us. Maybe it would be an ounce of each of those. They could smoke it. Wouldn't be something he'd have to make readily available to the entire world. It could be a secret page of sorts. And the 2 or 3 people who watch us could. No, I think it could be a lot of fun. And
nothing that a text couldn't.
Yeah, and the good thing about that, if you're watching, John David, is that, you might get a new customer who might say, man, that King's foil is the bee's knees. That green dragon, which I'm a fan of. So, it's just a thought if you're watching, JDC. We love you. So, church bells. Church bells.
I remember hearing them on one of the videos. I was watching one of them, and I'm like, yeah, I hear church bells. And I was kind of looking outside my house, and I'm like, is there a church?
Is it 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock?
It is 6 o'clock.
So we're going to hear some Christmas carols then.
Okay.
At 6 o'clock, we get a couple of minutes.
Seasonally appropriate.
Yes. Well, it's Advent.
Happy Advent.
I do have an update. I know you guys are watching this after Christmas Day. But today, for Holy Eucharist, the music director played no Advent music. Our opening hymn was actually this song, "O Come All You Faithful." Our closing hymn was "Joy to the World." Our offertory hymn was "Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer." No, that's not right. It was some Christmas carol. So I was kind of impressed, because I have an old music director who was he was strict. And Advent is for Advent, and Christmas is for Christmas. But, the reality is, the people are like, Advent music sucks. Play Christmas carols.
Yeah. So. I want to say in church today we had there were non-traditional songs. They weren't Christmas songs or Advent songs. They were just
hymns.
Hymns. And I'm like, why are we just having hymns? But whatever.
Okay, I'm trying to freight train this to see if I can heat it up. It's not burning. It's not getting ashy.
I actually have to relight my pipes. So.
This is a good test I like to use, which if it goes wrong, it'll scar you for life, literally. But you put it up to your cheek, and if you can hold the bowl to your cheek like this, that pipe is not too hot. And this pipe is barely warm, and I'm getting full flavor from it. Which, again, with a Virginia forward blend, that's what you kind of want to do. You want to keep it burning cool. Most tobaccos do burn or do have a better flavor profile if they're cooler burning, if you can keep them burning cool. And Virginias in particular. You get the best out of a Virginia when you can keep it a cool ember.
I'm getting a little more of the Latakia as I get into the second half of the bowl. But I don't know if that's just because I'm hitting a leaf of Latakia or if it's just actually the blend changing. So
that's a holy night, isn't it?
There's gonna be like 5 minutes of just staring off into space,
listening to
Christmas music.
Mm-hmm. All right, I am not getting any more Latakia as the bowl goes down. If anything, I think I'm getting that sort of.
It's gone.
I don't know how to describe it, but I used the term smooth in the bag note. I'm getting that. There's that circle. So it's just a little higher this time. I'm getting that. I think I'm getting a little more cabinish.
You could see that circle in the last video. Did you watch it?
I did. I noticed that. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I think I'm getting a little bit more of the top part of the sandwich, which is for me the cabinish. The Virginia's still there, very present, and below it that base note of Latakia.
I think that's a very apt way of putting it. I think.
Thank you. I came up with that on my own.
The Virginia sandwich.
Yes, Virginia, there is a sandwich. See what I did there?
I did.
All right. So, this is hitting at 36 minutes, but there was a whole bunch that we can cut out in the beginning because I was ill prepared. So we may be at about a half an hour right now. So we probably should start to wrap it up because I don't think Phil likes us going too long.
And we don't want to disappoint Phil.
He's never said anything. But Phil has a way of implying things very politely.
Like I don't like this. Don't do it again.
Like, my cover of the BRTV guide. About, dude, we don't need your face.
Phil's got a very
Phil's a great guy.
Subtle.
Phil's a
aggressive
super guy. No, he's not passive aggressive. He's really not. He's one of the most genuine fellows you ever want to meet.
I would agree with that. Well,
and you know what?
Talked to Phil, but
I've never talked to him either in person. I've never shook his hand. I've never even talked to him on the phone. It's only been through email. Twitter Messenger and an email. But I really feel like I've gotten to know him through the years, just in that kind of communications venue. And he's a class act. You can just tell. If I owned a tobacco pipe related something or other, I would advertise with the guy because if I'm owning a business, I'm only going to do business with first-rate people. I'm not going to do business with sleazy people. And I think that's why he gets good advertisers. I mean, he's got Eddie Gray in the Pipe Nook. He's got Smoking Pipes Japan. Did I get that right?
Or is it Europe?
Europe. I think he's got both now. I think he's got Missouri Meerschaum.
Yeah, he's got Missouri Meerschaum.
So he's got, people recognize a good man with a quality product. And that's what Briar Report is.
Let me get my little Briar Report TV mug so I can bring it with me as well.
Yeah, how about that? I was kind of getting a hard time from a few parishioners because I try to save the BRTV mug for these videos. And my other go-to mug, it's about the same size, but it's black. It's my Country Squire Tobacconist mug. And there's something about that mug. It's stained on the inside with black coffee.
Yeah.
And it would come out if I tried to clean it, but I don't try to clean it because it's got character. I like that, and I think it might add something to the flavor.
Maybe.
And so I'll go out, either we have a meeting in the conference room or, before church is starting, I might be out in the North X holding my mug, and people will see it, and they're like,
do you ever watch that?
Padre, what is with the mug? I mean, you're like, is that a science experiment? So I actually broke down and I brought some of my mugs to the dishwasher, and they're going to be washed, including the black Country Squire Tobacconist. It's just not going to be. It's like reaming the bowl of your pipe. It's kind of like you're gonna have to start over.
That's sad. You're paying to have them cleaned?
No, I'm not paying to have them cleaned. I just put them in the dishwasher. But some people do send their pipes out to be professionally cleaned.
They do.
A good guy probably to do that is Kane Rod Piper, who I want to give a shout out to. He sent me a lovely Christmas stem.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
For my my corn cobs. So thank you, Mike. You're a great guy. I truly appreciate that. That's a wonderful thought. You didn't have to do that. I was totally surprised by it, and I'm thrilled to death by it. Thank you. I can't wait to my country gentleman. I'm gonna get a New Country Gentleman to throw it on.
We'll smoke that next time on.
Yeah, it's due in it's due in tomorrow from Amazon Prime.
Okay.
Yeah. So, all right. Coming down to the end of this, as we wrap it up, this is not a bad blend. It's not knocking my socks off, but I could see where this would. If it depends on what you mean by an all-day blend. What would this fatigue me is what I mean by an all-day blend. Would I get tired of smoking this? I don't think so. I think it's got enough of a little flavor profile that I could enjoy it all day. I don't think the room note is offensive. We'll find out tomorrow when I come back here and see if it's still lingering like that dag-blasted mild English. It's not ashy. It's not bitey. So, yeah. Could it be an all-day smoke? Yeah. Would I want it to be my all-day smoke? Maybe one day if I'm going to smoke a couple of bowls in one day, which most days I don't get to smoke more than one bowl. But I could see doing it with this. I wouldn't have a problem with that. It wouldn't fatigue my palate at all.
What I would say is it probably, for me, I don't think I would consider this an all-day smoke, only because it's not really complex.
No, it's not.
No, not at all. It's very pleasant. I can see it. It's one of those, as you put it, a mindless blend. Mm-hmm. There's not a whole lot to it. It doesn't require any thought. It's just nice
not mindless
Virginia
in a bad
tobacco.
way, but mindless in a way that if you're working and you just want a pipe hanging out,
And
you don't have to think about it. You don't have to worry about chasing those little notes. And
so it's like kind of like your which one did you call a mindless one? Was it the not Northwoods? Or maybe it was.
It was Northwoods because it was a full flavor. But it was the same flavor all throughout.
And so this is on the other side of the spectrum. It's a mindless blend, but it's
on the lighter
Virginia.
side. Yeah.
So I could, maybe I'll rate this one a little higher, only because it is very pleasant and it doesn't require a whole lot of tending to, if you will.
And it stays lit reasonably well. It took a char light well, and again, of the 4 that we've done so far, number 4 for me is mild English. This is my number 3. My number 2 is Northwoods. And as you said, those 2 for me share something in common, that they don't require a whole lot of flavor attention, but I like a deeper flavor that Northwoods gives. And I still just like Countryside. Countryside is my number 1. I'm going to be surprised because, we're smoking now all this for the first time. Countryside and Northwoods, the only ones I had smoked as you. And I'm going to be surprised if I find one that I'm going to like better than Countryside. And I'll be pleasantly surprised if that's the case. I'll go buy it up if that's the case. So, Well, I know they're going to be seeing this after Christmas, but are you expecting anything big for... Oh, you are. You're expecting a child.
Living Human was...
That's a pretty good Christmas gift.
It is very
And
much
again, early morning of the 27th is when it's scheduled,
12:30 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
So
we offer prayers and good wishes that everything goes well with that, and that mommy is healthy, and baby is healthy, and daddy is healthy, and big sister is healthy, and that... Are you going to be in the room?
I plan to be.
You're going to cut the cord?
I plan to.
All right. So that you don't pass out.
Didn't pass out for number 1.
All right. Good for you. Yeah, that's exciting. It really is. And how is the extended family? How are the parents? They're excited?
Yeah. And if you'll indulge me in a short, I know this video is 40.
Oh, go for it. You're having a kid.
If I can indulge you in a short little story, I remember for my first daughter, who's now 7, back when we were in the labor and delivery room. My wife she was fixing breakfast, right? And we were getting ready to eat breakfast. It was a Sunday morning, I believe, if I recall correctly. And she was making some pancakes. And
wait, you're in the labor delivery room and she's making pancakes?
No. This is, sorry. We're back at home.
Okay.
And she's making pancakes and her water breaks. And so we rushed to the hospital. Didn't really get dressed or anything like that. But I had some shorts and some sandals and a t-shirt on. And so we got everything ready, and we went over to the hospital, and I'm standing in the labor delivery room at that point, and this is later in the evening, of course. We're jumping ahead, no real timeline here. But it's late at night, we're in the labor and delivery room. I'm still in my shorts and t-shirt and sandals, and the doctors come in with, and they're scrubbing up, and they're putting hats on, and I'm like, they didn't bring me anything. I'm like, is this going to be messy? Because
Well, you've been to crawfish boils before. Oh, you were dressed for that.
So I kind of looked around. I'm like, I think I may need to get some shoes or something.
Did they dress you up?
No.
They didn't scrub you?
No, but I didn't get anything on me, so I guess
That's good. Nothing splattered.
Nothing splattered.
It's important that nothing splatters. Absolutely.
But when you get there, if you haven't had a child, and just wear some decent clothes like jeans and boots or something, because it's going to get messy.
Jeans and boots. Important. So I'm just going to try and steer this back to pipe smoking. I've enjoyed this blend.
Yeah.
I would not turn it down. I don't know that I'd necessarily stock up on it, but it's good to have. It's not bad. It's an enjoyable Virginia forward blend in the English category, perhaps even making its way into that crossover with that Black Cavendish coming in there, becoming a bit of a hybrid with a little sweetness and such.
Yeah.
And nothing, I don't know that there's anything bad I could say about this blend.
So not remarkable, but it's not bad.
It's not knocking my socks off. There's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
On the good side, it doesn't bite. I mean, that's huge, right? So that's good.
For a Virginia blend, that's huge.
Yeah, so I'm happy with that. So Boswell's Magnum blends, what we've been smoking. Black Cavendish, Latakia, and Virginia from the Boswell Sampler. As we're smoking through the sampler, we're hoping we can continue. We're 4 out of 7 now. We've got 3 more to go, but we've got to get you at a time when you get released from brand new daddy duty. So we don't know what that's going to look like. If we may have to sneak you out in the middle of the night, or if we're
do it on my back porch. I don't know.
I may have to travel. We'll do it on your porch, or we just may be a little late for the next one. We'll play it by ear. We'll have to see. There are more important things. I know this is going to come as a shock to some folks. There are more important things than pipe smoking, and so I think becoming a daddy is one of those. So we say congratulations to you. I say that on behalf of the entire YTPC and BRTV.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Anything you want to say before we close out this 4th video?
No, just not drag it on any longer.
Let's not drag it on.
Last story I told was pretty terrible. So,
all right. Well, for
Mark VV,
I'm Padre, wishing you and yours God's peace, grace, and blessings. This is where we got a black screen.
do just smile strangely at the camera.
Yeah, that. And then this bugger keeps recording over here. So, all right, I'm gonna finish this. I've still got about a third of the bowl to go, and I like it. So
It'll be a long one.
Yeah, it's all right. Well, we got about 5 minutes on the front end that we can cut out.
Some of that was funny though. Maybe you can trim it.
Yeah, I can trim it.
Get the funny parts in.
We think we're funny.
You're funny.